Everyone has an opinion about how to fix education. More funding, more testing, smaller classrooms, better teachers. But what if the real problem isn't any of those things? What if the entire system is outdated? Because right now, there's a school in Austin, Texas, doing something that sounds almost impossible. A school with no traditional teachers. Students learn twice as fast, and somehow, the kids actually love going there, which immediately raises a question. Is this a revolutionary model for education, or just another experiment that sounds impressive but won't scale? Let's test the narrative. For over 100 years, school has followed the same basic formula. A teacher stands at the front of the room, students sit in rows. Everyone learns the same material at the same speed. Some students are bored because the material is too easy. Others are completely lost because the material is too difficult. But the class moves forward anyway, because the system wasn't designed for individual learning. It was designed for efficiency. The modern school system was built during the industrial era. Factories needed workers, so education adopted a factory model. Standardized schedules, standardized lessons, standardized outcomes. But children aren't standardized. Some students learn incredibly fast. Others need more time. Some excel in math but struggle with writing. Others are the opposite, which means the traditional classroom forces everyone into the same pace, whether it works or not. Now imagine flipping that system completely upside down. That's what Alpha School in Austin is trying to do. Instead of teachers delivering lectures all day, students learn core subjects through adaptive learning apps: math, reading, writing. These apps adjust constantly to each student's progress. If a student understands the material quickly, they move forward. If they struggle, the system slows down and reinforces the concept. No waiting, no falling permanently behind. Students simply move at their own pace. And according to the school, this allows students to learn twice as fast, which means core academics only take about 2 hours each day. 2 hours. Not 6, not 7, 2. The rest of the day is spent learning something traditional schools rarely prioritize: life skills. Students participate in workshops that teach things like public speaking, entrepreneurship, coding, teamwork, and leadership. One workshop even teaches poker, which might sound unusual, until you realize poker teaches probability, emotional regulation, and strategic thinking. In other words, real-world math. Now, another surprising part of this system is the absence of traditional teachers. Instead, Alpha School uses guides. These guides act more like mentors than instructors. They help students set goals, track progress, and explore their interests. Students also work on something called limitless projects. Limitless projects are passion-driven learning experiences where students explore topics they genuinely care about. They might start a small business, design a game, build a product, or learn advanced programming. The idea is simple. Instead of memorizing information, students apply it. Critics often assume a school like this would be chaotic. Give kids that much freedom and everything falls apart. But the opposite often happens. Students help create the rules for their environment. They meet regularly to decide expectations and community standards. And because those rules come from the students themselves, they actually follow them, which creates something rare in education: ownership. Students feel responsible for their environment and their progress, and that changes behavior. Perhaps the most interesting feature of Alpha School is that students aren't limited by grade-level material. If a 10-year-old is ready for 7th grade math, they move forward. If they can go even farther, they keep going. There are no artificial speed limits. Students advance as far as their curiosity and effort will take them, which leads to a very different kind of motivation. Instead of learning because they have to, students learn because they can. Now, does this mean every school should replace teachers with software? Probably not. But it does challenge one powerful assumption. For over a century, we've assumed school has to look a certain way. Rows of desks, one teacher, one lesson, one pace. But when new models begin experimenting with different approaches, something becomes clear. The traditional system may not be the only way to educate children. It might simply be the way we've always done it. And every system feels permanent until someone builds a better one. Because every narrative sounds convincing until it passes the truth test.